It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday. We are waking up with temperatures in the low to mid 50s as of 5 a.m. and the skies are clear. I have much better news for you in the forecast today compared to yesterday. Clear skies in the forecast. That means sunshine on deck for us all day. No rain, no thunderstorms, no severe weather. And that's really good news because some of you will need to use today and the next couple of days to clean up from storm damage that came through the area last night. A lot of National Weather Service survey teams will be out surveying areas with some of the damage as well. Monette, Aurora, just a couple of the places. And there was a lot of hail. So I think a lot of folks will be out assessing the homes, the roofs, seeing where damage occurred late yesterday. It was a wild afternoon and evening with severe weather in the Ozarks and a couple of tornado warnings. We also had so many severe thunderstorm warnings. We lost count, but thankfully today is a much calmer day in the forecast. Temperatures are comfortable this morning. It's actually going to end up being an absolutely beautiful afternoon with temperatures that land in the middle 70s. I'm going 74 degrees for the high temperature in the forecast today, so much improved on yesterday's weather. I expect that we are going to have a north wind in the forecast today. Nothing too strong, maybe 5 to 10 miles an hour. Also a little bit of a breeze, but it shouldn't keep us too limited. I expect highs will still make their way into the low and mid 70s, and that combined with sunshine is going to feel great. It'll be a nice day for outdoor activities. And I mentioned some of you might be out picking up some limbs, things like that. Even if you weren't in some of the hardest hit areas, there was a whole lot of rain with some of those thunderstorms and some gusty winds too. So there could still be some places left over with a little bit of storm damage to clean up today. We are going to be dry not only today, but also tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. We need the dry stretch of days, and that's exactly what we're going to get. Also, through this time period, temperatures look really comfortable. So if you are looking ahead to the weekend and thinking about outdoor time, it's all a yes. It's looking really nice across the Ozarks with temperatures back into the 70s every single day, starting today, lasting all the way through Sunday afternoon. We are not without severe weather across the country today. It's still in the forecast for much of the South and the Southeast. We get a break here in the Midwest, and I'm expecting some of that cold air that's been ongoing. I've been telling you about some of the snow in the higher elevations of the Rockies and the Cascades. Well, some of the cold air associated with that is going to ride the north wind down into the middle part of the country. So we get a nice little cool down here, even though it's not going to be cold. It'll be cooler with high temperatures falling back into the low and mid 70s today. I have more rain in the forecast, but it doesn't get here until early next week. It's Monday before we see that chance for rain. And at least at this point, it does not look like we'll be talking severe storms or heavy rain, just kind of your common May rain shower in the forecast as we move into the early part of next week. Of course, I'll keep my eye on the models if anything changes and starts to look like it could be severe, but right now, looks like this should be pretty smooth sailing in the Ozarks. High temperature today, 74 degrees under sunny skies with a north breeze. A little bit cooler tomorrow with highs limited to near 70. I think we stay in the mid 70s on Saturday. Another beautiful day. And then by Sunday, we're still talking this Chamber of Commerce weather. Clear skies through this entire time period. We should see plenty of sunshine. And then by the time we get to Sunday, I think highs start to sneak back up into the upper 70s again before rain moves back into the Ozarks for Monday. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, it's that risk of severe weather that moved through portions of the Midwest and the Tennessee Valley late last night. A moderate risk for severe storms over parts of the southern plains today. Excessive rainfall also in some of those areas. So we are going to see continued headlines of flooding across the country, severe weather across the country, and still along this furthest southern tier of the country. We're talking almost record-breaking heat with a lot of heat for portions of South Texas. So that's what's happening for our friends down south, while the snow is wrapping up in some of the higher elevations as of the Rockies, as I mentioned earlier. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. This is the question that I left you with yesterday. Famous American architect Frank Lloyd Wright once thought of building a, quote, mile-high skyscraper that would be the tallest building in the world. What did he call that building, that concept? The options that I gave you were A, the Missouri, B, the Kentucky, C, the Illinois, or D, the Tennessee. The answer is C, the Illinois, which kind of makes sense because if you think about the states and their shapes, Illinois is the longest, the tallest. Abraham Lincoln is from Illinois. He was really tall. So the Mile High skyscraper would have been called the Illinois. It's a concept proposal for a skyscraper that was to be over 1 mile high. It was conceived and described by Frank Lloyd Wright himself in his 1957 book, A Testament. The design was intended also to be built in Chicago. It included 528 stories, a gross square footage area that was, I can't even conceive of. Can you imagine how large this building would be? He stated that there would be parking for 15,000 cars and 100 helicopters. If it would have been built, it would top the list of the tallest buildings in the world by far, being more than 4 times the height of the Empire State Building and almost twice as tall as the world's current tallest building. So now you know, if the Illinois is ever to be built, I guess it will be in Chicago and be the tallest 4 times over. C, the answer. Congrats if that was your guess. Here's the next brain twister trivia question that I have for you today. Americans, the average American eats about 1.5 pounds of what every year? Do you think it is A, spinach, B, romaine lettuce, C, cabbage, or D, turnip greens? None of these weigh very much, and so I guess that explains the 1.5 pounds every year. But what do you think it is? What do you think the average American eats about 1.5 pounds of every year? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. It is free to enter, so make sure you head on over to the website and enter your guess there. You can win $20 to Scooter's Coffee every single weekday here on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Thank you to our sponsor, Scooters and Rescue Towing, and thank you for listening this morning. By the way, if you are enjoying Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, I would really appreciate it if you would give us a nice review wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, all the platforms. We will take it. So if you have been enjoying the podcast, let us know. Thanks so much. I sure appreciate you listening, and thank you so much. We will chat again early tomorrow morning.